Hi there, welcome back to English with Gift. In this video, you're going to learn all about simple, compound, and complex sentencing. I will show you the differences among these three types of sentences. So let's begin. To start with, I'm going to explain what a simple sentence is all about. A simple sentence is a group of words that has a subject, a verb, and delivers a complete thought. Another name for a simple sentence is an independent clause. An independent clause. Now, I'm going to talk about two basic kinds of clauses: a dependent clause and an independent clause. What is a dependent clause? A dependent clause is a clause that cannot stand alone as a complete sentence because it does not express a complete thought. Now, on the other hand, what is an independent clause? An independent clause is a clause that expresses a complete thought and, of course, an idea. Let's go on to examples of simple sentences. The first one I'm going to be giving you is I can speak English. I is the subject, speak is the verb. Let's move on to another example. Nick opened the door. Nick is the subject, open is the verb. Furthermore, they are having pizza for dinner tonight. They are having pizza for dinner tonight. They is the subject, having is the verb. That's not all, because we have some simple sentences with compound subject. Let's see some examples of simple sentences with compound subject. A simple sentence can have a compound subject, which means two different people or things are doing the same action. For example, Winston and Davies are working on the project. In this sentence, the subjects are Winston and Davies, and the verb is working. In addition to that, Nick and Zoe are having orange juice. Nick and Zoe are the subjects. Are having is the verb. In this kind of situation, two people are doing the same action, making it a compound subject. In the second sentence, Nick and Zoe are linked together by the coordinating conjunction and being the reason why we call it a simple sentence with compound subject, because there are two or more people or things doing the same action. The conjunctions connected the subject, so this is a complete thought. To add to that, there are simple sentences with compound predicates. A simple sentence can have a compound predicate, which means the subject of the sentence is doing two or more things or actions. For example, Nick ate pasta and washed the dishes. In this sentence, Nick is the subject, and there are two verbs, which are ate and washed. Mom cooked dinner and cleaned the kitchen. Mom is the subject. Cooked and cleaned are the verbs. In this kind of sentences, the two verb phrases are linked together by the coordinating conjunction, and this makes the simple sentence having a compound predicate. The conjunctions in these sentences connect the verb phrases, which means that this is a complete thought. So know that this group of words can stand on their own because they have a subject, a verb, and of course, a complete thought. Moving on, I'm going to talk about the compound sentences, which is the second type of sentence I'm going to be explaining in this video. What is a compound sentence? A compound sentence has two or more independent clauses joined by a coordinating conjunction. I believe you all remember your coordinating conjunctions, right? And there is an acronym for that, which is FANBOYS. F for A and, N no, B but, O or, Y yet, and S so. Now let's look at examples of compound sentences. The first one I'm going to give you is I am a doctor and my friend is a teacher. Who can identify the coordinating conjunction in this compound sentence? Please type in the chat. The coordinating conjunction is and. In this sentence, there are two independent clauses. Each of them can stand on its own. However, I added a conjunction so this can give us a compound sentence. Let's see more examples. She tried to lift her bag, but it was too heavy. She tried to lift her bag. It was too heavy. Two independent clauses joined together using the coordinating conjunction but. Now, always remember when you join two independent clauses together, you have to put a comma after the first independent clause before writing the coordinating conjunction. I believe you should be able to identify compound sentences from the examples I've given to you. Now, listen, words like and, but, so are called coordinating conjunctions. Another important thing when we connect these independent clauses is, like I said, you have to add a comma. All right, finally, let's go to the last type of sentence I'm going to explain in this video, which is complex sentences. A complex sentence has one dependent clause and one or more independent clauses joined together by a conjunction. For example, when I got home from school yesterday, tell me, can you please type in the comment section, is that a simple, compound, or complex sentence? Okay, that is an example of a dependent clause. This is a dependent clause and it does not express a complete third and cannot stand on its own. To make it complete, we have to add an independent clause. So listen to this. When I got home from school yesterday, I watched TV for an hour. When I got home from school yesterday is the dependent clause. I watched TV for an hour is the independent clause, making this sentence a complex sentence. Adding to that, listen to this example. I love to travel because I get to meet a lot of interesting people. I love to travel. In this example, one can notice how I love to travel is an independent clause. And then it is joined by a dependent clause because I get to meet a lot of interesting people, making it a complex sentence. Although he was wealthy, he was still unhappy. The dependent clause in this sentence is although he was wealthy. Okay, that is the dependent clause. And the independent clause is he was still unhappy. Dependent clauses start with the linking verbs like when, because, even though. These conjunctions are called subordinating conjunctions. If the dependent clause comes first, you have to put a comma after it, then you write the independent clause. Take note of that. Finally, the last example I'm going to give here is when we buy a birthday cake, we have to make sure it's chocolate, which is the dependent clause and which is the independent clause. You can tell me. Please type your answer in the chat. If you have questions, queries, concerns, you need clarification, do not hesitate to type whatever you have in the chat. And I'm going to be right there waiting for you to attend to your questions and comments. And that's going to be the end of today's video. Have a great day. See you next video. Bye.